Oh, got it. Welcome back, Fish Fam, to a new video. Today's video, we're going to tour Jesse's fish room. I'm going to let him talk about all of his tanks that he has. I went down to Hamilton, visited my family, and of course went to Jesse's, decided to film a video, so stay tuned. You're not going to want to miss this one. So just an FYI in this video, don't mind if Jesse looks like he's looking off camera and not looking at you guys. We had two cameras set up. We had mine and his, two different SD cards. That way we could pull dual footage, kind of make this a banger video. Well, sometimes bad things happen, and this little SD card decided that it was going to corrupt all the files. So everything where we were looking at the camera is gone. I tried so hard to try and get the footage back, and it failed ultimately. So I did with what I had of the other video, so a lot of the talking is facing the other camera, but a lot of it was recorded, so I got the audio. So I tried to do it best I could, and so I hope you enjoy the video, and really no hard feelings. So here we go, let's dive into the video. Alright guys, so for this first tank that we've got here, we've got a 20-gallon tall. Now in this aquarium, I'm currently growing out a couple of angelfish that will be moving upstairs to our 60-gallon display tank before too long. So this tank is actually the oldest tank in the house. I've had this one set up for almost 4 years, and it currently houses all of the mother aquatic plants that donate plants later on down the road to all of the other tanks in the home. Alright guys, so the second 20-gallon tall tank we're going to talk about used to actually be a tiger barb tank, and since then they are no longer with us, and we have changed things around in this tank, and it now holds a ton of nausea grass and various different types of swordtails. That is our current breeding project in the fish room. Next we have our 10-gallon tank that is holding all of our baby Mbuna cichlids. A while back I took a peek in the 55-gallon, and Mama had a bulging neck full of babies that she was holding. We went ahead and moved Mama over to the 10-gallon, and we took a bread tie, pried her mouth open, and she spat out all the babies, and now they are currently growing out and doing healthy and wonderful. Next tank we have is our third 20-gallon tall that we're going to talk about today. This tank houses a ton of nausea grass. There's other various plants down in there that I haven't seen in a long time. So this tank houses 6 black skirt tetras and a blue opaline gourami. I haven't gotten any other current stock for it up to this time, but I'm always up for suggestions down the road. So drop a comment down below and let me know what you guys think we should put in this tank down the road. Next up, we've got another 10-gallon for you guys that we recently did a quick tear down of. We painted the background black, added some black sand. The reason for doing this is because the stock in it are German blue rams and Bolivian rams, and having the black background and the black sand, we found, gives these rams much better color and appearance, which is something that we were looking for in our fish room. And then we have the 10-gallon Corridora tank. Now this tank I have had my ups and downs with. I have spawned these guys a few times, gotten some eggs, and since then have not been successful with it. I recently started experimenting with some rainwater in this tank. I'll do about a 60% water change, and I'll use colder 60-degree-ish water, rainwater, in the tank to fill it back up and drop the pH so that hopefully we will be able to get these Corridoras to spawn again for us here on this channel. Alright, last but not least, last tank on this rack, we've got a 55-gallon tank. This tank holds several Mbuna cichlids, a common Plecostomus, and I promised you guys in the last video I was going to show you guys our new monsters that we had picked up, and what we got, we picked up a leopard gar, we picked up a channel catfish, we also got a tiger shovel-nosed catfish, and a fish that was on this channel before that I told you guys is now back is a red-tail catfish. Okay, and then we've got our 20-gallon long down here. Now this tank holds several paradise gouramis. We've got a gold opaline gourami. It is a female. It's not as aggressive as the males. We also have a common pleco in here, and I believe that's all in that tank. So not only does he have fish tanks down here in the basement fish room, but he also has fish tanks upstairs. And well, he's gonna talk about those for you guys. So here he is. All right guys, so the tanks we have upstairs, we're gonna start off with a 20-gallon long and a 5-gallon tank. Our 20-gallon long currently holds our peacock bass that we are growing out. This is the Panama peacock bass. And once he gets a little bit larger, he's going to join his fellow monsters in the 55 grow out. Over off to the 5-gallon, this is our beta fish tank. We've been wanting to set up a beta tank for a while. In our last video, we went ahead and got this set up. So if you haven't checked that out yet, please go check it out. Next up, we've got a 20-gallon tall and a 10-gallon we're going to talk about. Now, this 20 tall is our planted tank. This is my most prized possession of all of my tanks. I've always been a fan of monster fish, but here lately I've really been leaning the planted tank side of things. And it's quite intriguing. Set yourself up one, man. You'll sit there and totally lose track of time staring at it. It's one of the many beauties of this hobby. So the 20-gallon tall planted tank that we set up currently houses several guppies. We also have a few mystery snails in there, one blue, one gold. And something I've been experimenting with, I want to get into shrimp down the road, so I picked up some ghost shrimp to start off with, as they were cheap at my local fish store. And these are going to get me familiar with the species before I go into keeping more expensive fish. If any of you have fish that are quite expensive that you would like to keep, I highly suggest starting off with the cheaper types before you get into the more expensive ones that you would be better prepared to care for with more experience in this hobby. Now, there's a 10-gallon right below this tank. This 10-gallon holds our fry. So our guppies and our shrimps have been breeding like crazy, and we take our guppies and we move them down so that the parents will not eat them, because I don't yet have enough plant cover in this tank to hide the babies without them being scarfed down by mom and pop. The last glass tank we're going to talk about, and notice I say glass tank, there's a reason for this, you'll see in a moment, is our 60-gallon angelfish tank. Now, David had recently brought down 4 or 5 angelfish to add to this tank. They are gorgeous. Look out in the video for them. They're going to be mostly the whiter type angelfish. Those are going to be the ones that he brought down, and I can't wait to continue their line and their genetics with all of the other angels that we have. We also have an Asian bumblebee cat in this tank, a common Plecostomus, and a Synodontis lace catfish in this tank as well. Next, we have our 450-gallon pool pond that we built down here in the fish room. We're going to get back down here and feed some goldfish to this bass and let you guys enjoy watching this bass hunt. Alright guys, well, now the time has come to go feed our largest and most ferocious beast in that 450-gallon pond, Birdie the largemouth bass. So let's go get some footage of that for you guys. Alright guys, so now has come the time to feed our largemouth bass, and since you are a guest in my house, would you like to do the honors? We've got some feeder guppies and some feeder goldfish. I don't recommend feeding feeder goldfish all the time, but on special circumstances I like to feed it to them as a treat to get them a little active and moving. Otherwise the fish just kind of gets bored. Show you guys these guys. Sad to say they're going to meet their fate, but it's time to feed her. Got it. Alright guys, that's the end of the video. I really hope you enjoyed it. And if you did, drop a like down on it. It really does help us. And if you're not subscribed already, consider subscribing down below. It's free and you'll get to see some awesome content coming out. And I hope you guys liked the video even though the SD card failed. Again, I do apologize for that. But until the next one, peace out.